Hey everybody, welcome back to Absolutely PlayStation and Steam Gamers. I'm Dylan, that's Houston, that's Shank, he's scared. But that's okay. We're gonna take care of him today. This is the podcast, the unnamed podcast that we do every week, where we talk about what we've played this week, and then smoothly transition into a larger topic. Who do we want to start with? Houston, what have you played this week?
All right, what have I played this week? That's a great question. Let's see here. A lot of app games, as always. War of the Visions, no real updates. Nothing's come out. Just they've gotten too much of my money.
Fair.
I've been trying to find a new single-player game because I'm tired of MMOs and multiplayer games, but I'm having a real hard time finding one. So if anybody has suggestions, let me know.
Control.
I might play
I was
that.
going to say Control as well.
I downloaded it. I got as far as downloading it.
I also downloaded it when you gave
Yeah.
it to me, and I still haven't played it yet either, so.
That's the
I
first
get it.
step.
What else have I been playing lately? I just got back into Final Fantasy XIV because that seems to be what everybody's doing. I have decided to become the very best fisher there ever was. So
Yeah,
Shank,
they just add fishing or something?
No, it's been in there forever.
Okay.
So if I give you shit for Destiny, just be like, Houston, you are fishing in an MMO. I don't want to hear it.
I mean, I never really take any of the shit you guys give me
Oh, I know.
to heart.
I'm
because
just saying.
I know what other inane, dumb things you guys do, so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys press autoplay on some of your app games.
I do.
So.
Oh, here comes Milo. Watch out, bud. You're in the way.
Little guest star.
There you go. Little guest star there.
Milo, our new fifth host.
True.
What else have I been playing? What new app games have I been playing? Just a lot of Marvel Strike Force, War of the Visions, and Epic 7, really.
What's Epic 7? I heard you talk about the other two.
Epic 7 totes itself as the playable anime. It's not really, but it's another one where you collect heroes and go out and do a bunch of different things. There's PvP, real-time arena, all sorts of stuff.
In what way is it different than Genshin? Or is it kind of the same?
So Genshin's action RPG. This is more like choose your attack RPG.
Clicky, yeah.
Clicky, yeah.
It's different. The only reason I know anything about Epic 7 is because of the top free-to-play mobile app games or whatever you made.
Yeah.
So I edited that.
I just pulled, for anybody who plays the game, Archdemon Mercedes. That was pretty awesome. She is an ML5, Moonlight 5 star, which is the rarest.
Fancy.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Nice.
Did you pay for that one? Or
I did not actually.
Okay.
Cool. I just did a random. I did not. I would. When have I ever hated me paying for anything?
That's true.
I would never do that.
Why would I hide it? If anybody's feeling generous, wants to donate to the Houston App Game Fund, find me.
Well, you got an OnlyFans now that you're
We'll
funding
open
your
up a
app?
idea.
Patreon just for your.
That's a good
App games.
idea. I'm gonna start where I do my polls on OnlyFans. And in order
Start an
to watch
Indiegogo just so you
man,
can
this is
keep your app
great.
games going.
I am a big fan of this idea.
That's horrible. Extorting
it
people
is.
from their money.
I know, it's just the worst.
Any non-app games?
I just started Sword Art Online Hollow Revelations, something like that, on my Switch. It's an older game, follows the anime loosely.
I didn't know they had Sword Art Online games.
Oh, they have a lot of them. There's
Really?
Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, which follows Gale Gun. The newest one just came out. I don't know the name of it, but it follows the newest seasons of Sword Art. They're actually really fun.
Okay. Is it like action adventure stuff?
Yep. Action RPG.
I've never watched Sword Art Online, but it was one of the few anime that sort of interested me, just because I don't really like anime, which people yell at me when I say that. But
I'll back you up.
I mean,
I don't dislike it. I don't know. there are certain ones I get into, but most of them I can't. I just can't get past a lot of the filler stuff in animes. I don't know.
There's a lot of filler.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing.
My problems are mostly with just all the tropes, like all the anime tropes. I don't really care for them, and there's a lot of them in a lot of the anime that people suggest I watch. But it's just, I don't know, nothing really resonates with me in a lot of anime except like Digimon. Like that's the one that like, and Pokemon, but that just kind of comes with the territory.
Well, I mean, there's Digimon games.
There are, and I love them.
Yeah.
And I'm planning on playing Cyber Sleuth, which is one of the few Digimon story games that got localized because it did really well over in Japan, and I think it did pretty well here.
There's 2 of them.
And yeah, there's
when did those come out?
5 years ago.
2016.
Yeah,
I want to say.
I'm trying to think the last time I heard of Digimon, and I want to say the last time I was into Digimon, and I mean I was in middle school at least, so I was just curious if it was like a old school NES type game or
No, it's basically Pokemon but with Digimon. It's on PS4, Steam, and Switch. And I think Xbox.
Because the ones that I played as a kid, I played the Digimon World games, and especially the ones on DS were the ones that really were like, oh, we're just trying to be Pokemon now, because they literally released Digimon World Dusk and Digimon World Dawn just like a Pokemon release. And they were just like, oh, so no like pretense here, and they're great games. They were a lot of fun. I remember having a lot of fun with them.
I gotta go find them and buy them.
They're good. And the one before that, Digimon World DS, is like that was their first like foray into we're just gonna try to do like a classic JRPG, but it's Digimon. And now this is interesting. Digimon Survive is a game that was announced a few years ago, and it's just Fire Emblem, but with Digimon.
I mean,
so
Pokemon did it.
For it. Yeah, that's true. But the Digimon Survive, it's so pretty. It's got this like painterly art style during the battles, and it's such a strange like change for the Digimon franchise. But we're getting, for the first time, and I think this is because of Cyber Sleuth, we're getting a worldwide release when it comes out. Instead of, it gets launched in Japan and nowhere else for 4 years because Digimon is only big in Japan. So that's exciting for me as someone who very much loves Digimon and is falling back in love with it recently. But we have no idea when that game is coming out.
Yeah.
So.
Another thing, speaking of Digimon, I started a shiny lock in Pokemon Sword because the game's too easy. Where
so, you only can use shinies?
Only use shinies. So what? I'm currently on the hunt for my first shiny.
Okay,
Good
so
Lord.
let's unpack this, because I really haven't played a whole lot of Pokemon games. I played obviously like Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver. I want to say one of the Emerald series, and then I kind of fell off. Then I started playing the emulated games. Aren't shinies like super rare?
Oh yeah, it's.
When I played like
Hence
shinies, I don't think were a thing. So
they came in gold and silver is when they were first introduced.
Well, obviously they were rare enough
colors.
that 10-year-old me never found them.
Well, you found the red Gyarados at least.
That's true.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like that.
That's the one they give you for free.
Yeah, to introduce you to shinies. Hey, look what we did. We swapped the color palette.
Whoa. It used to be a 1 in 8,192 chance.
It still is.
They changed. Well, they've like futzed with that number a few times because there's all kinds of items that increase your chance.
But not at the start of the game. There's not.
That's true. So you're just kind of in the dark right now. But like I know in depending on the game, I think in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I think that's the easiest game to shiny hunt in because there's like a chain system.
Yep.
So
Sword and Shield is the worst game to shiny hunt.
Really?
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me because they probably just were too lazy to implement those things into the game.
And so what Pokemon can be shiny?
All of them.
Anything? So you could get a shiny Rattata.
Yep.
Yep. It's
Is it Rattata or
Green.
Rattata?
Rattata. It's green.
Rattata.
That's right.
Yeah, I like
a lot of them
Rattata.
are green. Pidgey's green.
That's true. Pidgey, shiny Pidgey is disgusting. If you use a shiny Pidgey, what's wrong with you?
Also, some useless shinies to catch. Pikachu, literally just a little darker or lighter.
True.
I can't remember.
He's just like orange instead of yellow. Garbage.
But it's the worst idea. I may never make it out of the first route.
Yeah. That's like, you're gonna be there for a while. I decided to shiny hunt when I was like 11 once with my copy of Heart Gold, and I wanted a shiny Cyndaquil, and that game is one of the easiest ones to get shiny starters on because it shows you a photo of the starter before you take it, and if it's shiny, it will be the shiny version of the sprite. And the popular method to do that is to soft reset your game every time you do that. So you save right before you click A, and then you soft reset it. And I did that. I got in my bed, was all ready, had like probably Digimon playing on the TV or something. And I sat there and I did it like 5 times went by. I was like, whatever, it's going to take a while. 3 more times went by and he showed up. I was like, whoa.
Well, that's called luck.
It is.
It could have taken you days.
I didn't realize you could get the starters shiny too.
Not in all games.
What about Fire Red?
Fire Red.
I think so.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Because you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? Next week, the only thing I'm going to have to update you with is that I was hunting a shiny Charizard in Pokemon Red on my emulator. Because now that's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's a good time. That is the luckiest. Like, I don't think I shiny hunted after I got that shiny Cyndaquil because it was like 8 soft resets getting one. I'd love it. I still have it too. It's on my copy of, I think, Black somewhere. But yeah, that's Houston. You're gonna be there for a hot minute.
That's why I have other games. So I'll do it for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then move on to something else.
So are you soft resetting to get the starter?
No, you cannot get starters in that.
You can't. Okay.
Nope. So
you should retry with a game that you can get starters in then.
I tried.
Is it really a shiny lock if you're
Yes, because I don't move on until after I catch my first shiny. So you get up to the point where you can catch Pokemon, and then you just keep going.
You're gonna catch your first shiny, and then you're gonna throw your starter in the garbage and never use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Grookey is gonna get released. Just
Back
gonna
into the
set
wild.
him off into the wild.
I mean, if we're ethically talking about Pokemon, all Pokemon should be released. It's kind of messed up that you're shoving them in a little ball.
No, they like
It's big in there.
They like fighting
Keep
for
telling
our
yourself that.
entertainment.
Keep telling yourself that.
Anyway,
It's not dog fighting. It's not. I swear.
Okay.
you just get paid when your team wins against another team.
Yeah, but it's like person to person.
And then
it's like
let
making
let it out every once in a while.
That's a whole other discussion. I don't think we want to get into.
So that you have to take it to the hospital.
I feel like Pokemon are really just Digimon if we want to get into this because you're putting them in a computer.
Speaking of taking them to the hospital. There we go. They literally, Nurse Joy says, "Hope to see you again soon." Every time you go.
I mean, yeah, they gotta pay the bills too.
You don't pay them.
That's true.
Pokemon's got universal
that seems like
health
a broken
care.
mechanic. You should have to pay to get your.
No.
You know what? You know what it is?
Wait
a second. You know what it is? It's a Japanese game. It's not an American game. Otherwise,
Free healthcare, of course. That's our American brains. You should
Anyway,
pay for it. No.
Shank, what have you been playing?
I'll give you guys 2 guesses.
I got
Destiny.
It. I got this. No.
Oh, yeah, you got on the first one.
No, it's not Destiny. I'm
sorry.
really feeling like you got into Hearthstone.
Never tried it. Never.
Fair enough.
I swore that was going to be it.
Yeah, so a new season released this week, Season of the Splicer. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing, and I've been feeling guilty while doing it because I know I need to finish Nier and I need to play Control. And also Resident Evil, because that was on my top 10 list.
That's true, it was.
However, there's a new season coming, or the new season came out, and we're planning on doing a day 1 raid on on Saturday, the 22nd, to tune in. But anyways, yeah. Plus, I mean, I'm really digging the story right now. Do you guys know anything about the lore, or am I just?
Yeah.
I know there's a big moon that nobody knew what was, but I think now they know what it is. That's all I know.
Nailed it.
The Traveler.
You're talking about.
That's what it's called.
Okay. So yeah, I thought you were talking about Warframe when like the moon like disappeared for a while.
What? Oops.
Isn't that what happened in Warframe? Luna disappeared for the longest time.
I played Warframe beta on the PS4 and I thought it was horrible, but then they like apparently changed it.
Oh yeah, it's way better than back then.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so there's 4 enemy factions, 5 if you count the Taken, but the Taken they're not just reskinned versions. They're reskinned, but then they have like new abilities and new like fighting mechanics. So the Hive we've known quite a bit about for a while, since like 2015, whenever the Taken King came out, a while ago. And last season we learned a lot about the Cabal. But the two enemy factions we knew the least about were the Elixni, which are all more commonly referred to as the Fallen, and the Vex. Because while they've given us kind of like snippets here and there just to kind of like tide us over, they haven't really gotten into what it was like for them, like on their home world, like what their cultures are like. I mean, the Vex is kind of difficult to do that for.
I know they have
because, well, yes, because Vex milk is actually the substrate that the Vex live in. Like the Vex aren't robots. The Vex is a hive mind. No, the Vex aren't robots. The Vex are a hive mind that are able to animate these frames. The Vex milk is actually like the cellular substrate that the Vex live in, but it's all like kind of one big hive mind. But we've never really gotten a whole lot about the Vex, just because it's really difficult to give personality to a hive mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
So the reason I'm enjoying this season is because it's taking the 2 factions we know the least about. It's taking the Fallen, or the Elixni, as we're now calling them because we're not xenophobic anymore. And, well, no, because we've been at war with them for centuries, millennia, whatever. But there is a house that is trying to make peace with the Last City. And the way they're doing that is by helping us stop the Vex, who have currently cast a perpetual like nighttime over the city, which is bad and spooky and is going to kill everybody, I guess. But I mean, it is really, because the Vex have never actually been able to project their simulations into the real world. They were only able to trap you in theirs. I might be getting too far in the weeds, but just stop me if I am. But it's taking the Fallen and making allies of them to help us stop the Vex by going into their homeworld to stop them. So we have allies that we can actually talk to and learn more about what it was like before they became the Fallen. And then we're also getting to see, like, this is what the Vex homeworld looks like. This is, like, how they function as a people. So as far as the story, like, I'm digging it so far. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to play the seasonal event, because it's Gambit, which I like Gambit, but it's not something I can play constantly.
Yeah. That's been always my biggest disappointment with Destiny, is their events tend to just be somewhat of a reskin.
Right. You're either picking up a ball and throwing it on something or depositing it in something.
Yeah.
You're standing on a plate, or you're picking up motes off the ground.
And slamming them into something.
Right. I mean, honestly, yeah.
Oh, I know.
That's what Avengers has been so far.
I'm not saying they do something wrong by doing this, because like he just said, Avengers does it. A lot of these games just rehash their events with a new story mode to it.
I will say, I was saying Avengers does that as a criticism.
Well, yeah,
Right.
but that's just, it's easy content.
Yeah, I mean it's like I mean Overwatch, their anniversary event just started, and it's most of their events are just skins. The most like intense their events get is the Archives one, where they have the PvE modes, like all of them. But
That was fun.
the Halloween event has a PvE mode. The Lunar New Year has Capture the Flag, but you can always do Capture the Flag.
You can?
So-
Since when?
Since after the first one,
Oh.
they
Been a
just
while.
decided to add that as a normal game mode because it was a PvP mode, I guess. But the PvE ones, they were like,
But they'll
those are
take out the
special.
PvE, you know. It's
Yeah,
like, you don't need this, but those are
Overwatch
the most
2. You gotta
fun.
wait for that. Oh my god! When I launched Overwatch today, there was like a little welcome message, and it was like, thanks for playing Overwatch for half a decade. I hope you look forward to Overwatch 2. And I was like, what are you saying?
Which will
That's
be out in
too long.
another half a decade.
Yep. It's true. That game's never coming out. But yeah, I think reskinning events only works if the events are interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird balance that they strike, because on a certain way, maybe we'll talk about this as a topic, but like at a certain point, you buy a game because you expect a certain type of gameplay, and if they deviate too far from that, is it really the same game? I
Yeah.
mean, yes, it is, because it's under the same title. but
Technically.
is it the game that you enjoyed and you bought, or is it
Yeah.
a game to bring new people in? Or are you just rehashing old content and not innovating enough? And I think sometime we can talk about that for like a full podcast, probably. I think Destiny is walking a little bit too close to it. They're just rehashing the same stuff. Because if you think about it, it's literally Gambit. There's 3 different areas you go. You come, you deposit the motes, and then you go into a portal and you kill an enemy from the other team. And then you
Is
come
it
back.
PvP also?
No, it's not PvP. It's,
Oh, okay.
it is the closest thing you could get to a solely PvE version of Gambit.
Okay.
Because the thing from the other team is a Vex Minotaur, or
Okay.
a Cabal Centurion simulation that is the Vex. And I mean, as far as gameplay, it's fun. I'm not hating on the content itself. I hope they do what they did last season, and they make the reason why you keep wanting to replay this is that the story is going to keep unfolding. Because otherwise, I mean, I don't see a reason to keep playing it. I've got up most of the triumphs already done. But part of that is so that I can set Destiny down and go play the other games I need to play. Because otherwise, all you're going to hear me saying on my weekly update is that I play Destiny.
More Destiny.
And again and again.
I will
And
say
then
I
everybody's
did-
going to understand why Benny always gives me shit.
I did log in for about 5 minutes. The new exotic sidearm is stupid.
It is. It's really bad.
I'm like, no. If that was a fun gun, I probably would have kept going. But I used it and I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Did you log in last season? Because the bow was really fun.
No, I totally forgot.
That sucks, because that bow's good.
Oh, wait, no, I did get the bow. It's the one that like has the homing arrows and stuff, right?
Yes, but it also
Yes.
makes explosions,
Yes,
which are fun.
yes, I did get that.
And the more explosions you make, the more powerful the explosions become. So
That's a good rule of thumb, I think.
I'm a Titan in the game, which is the same as a tank in pretty much every other game, except I also like explosions.
Awesome.
I typecast myself in every game, either hammer, explosions, or shields.
Does Destiny have fishing?
It does not.
Bad game.
No.
Warframe does.
See,
I know Warframe does.
I'm not going to argue with you on that, because most games have fishing.
They do.
Nier Replicant
That's a
has
good-
fishing. Final Fantasy 15 has
Does.
fishing.
Tell me an
14 has
MMO
fishing.
that doesn't have fishing.
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
It's a bad MMO.
Yeah. Why do you think I stopped playing it?
Couldn't fish.
They wouldn't have fish.
You couldn't fish.
Nope.
Oh, what was the other game I played and did a lot of fishing in? I can't remember.
Fishing Planet.
Let's move on.
They should add fishing to God of War Ragnarok, I think. I think that would be great.
It would
fishing
only be great
activity.
if you could throw your axe and then bring it back with fishing.
There's a fish on it.
I would play
Atreus
just for
is like
that.
fishing with an actual pole. Kratos is like, boy, he gets impatient, just throws. Brings back this like Leviathan. That'd be awesome.
I'd be down for that.
God of War
Horizon Forbidden West might have it.
I would love that. They really should just add fishing to everything. How would that work in that gameplay system? Because you never need to eat or anything.
Maybe you need
Yeah,
to
you
eat
do.
now.
You have to eat?
You eat the herbs for health. What do you think
that's,
you do? What do you think
that's
you
a
do?
little potion. That's not.
Apparently, Dylan's over here just like
Those are semantics. No, I swear.
he just fights through the pain.
I mean, like, you don't have to, like, when you're hunting the animals, you don't harvest their meat. You take their, like, skins. Well, I guess, now that I say that, I guess you could fish for upgrade materials. Not
Yeah.
necessarily
Oh, you know what?
food.
No, you do fish in that game.
You do?
Well, yeah, you fish with your bow, but still.
Okay.
That's a form of fishing.
No, I mean, are
I
you
guess
really
that's
gonna?
bow
Bow
fishing.
fishing is a real thing.
I need to cast a rod and sit down with a little baseball cap on that
You're
says
just
"Gone
not
fishing."
living life if you're not using a bow to fish.
That's fair.
Anyway, Dylan, what
or a
did you
axe.
play this week?
I actually played a surprising amount of games. Especially, I played, I think, 4 different games if you include Overwatch today. I guess I played Overwatch. I'm always playing Overwatch at some point. I played a new game to me called Wizard of Legend. Has anyone played Wizard of Legend?
I've never heard of it.
No. What type of
It's-
game is it? Because
It's a roguelike, and it's a lot of fun.
I gotta look it up when we're done here.
It's a 2D pixelated roguelike where basically you are a wizard who has been sent back into the past during a time where these chaos trials were happening, where like
Yes, the Chaos Trials.
I don't think the story is super important, and it hasn't like been fully revealed to me yet. I don't think there is any more than what I've seen. But basically you're fighting these like epic wizards from the past, and you have to go through their trials to get to the boss fights, which are the wizards, they're council members. And it's very challenging, and it's probably the hardest roguelike I have played thus far. Well, at least the hardest one that
Remember when we were
feels
talking
fair.
about tropes.
Yes.
I feel like that's very heavy in tropes, just from an
yeah.
outsider's perspective.
100%. But like the story doesn't matter. Like the story is just told to you in the tutorial because you're in a museum that's like in the future. It's like a normal like modern museum that's showing you all of these like stuff in the past and stuff, and you go through like a fake little chaos trial that the museum has set up that any civilian can go through. And then you get to the end and like something happens and you're thrown back into the time period that all of that stuff from the museum was from. And then there's like no more story past that that I've gathered so far.
We got to
You
get
just start
farther in the game.
playing the
Stop
robot.
dying, and you'll find it.
Well, yeah, I haven't beaten because it's like the way that it works, at least the normal like dungeons, is you go through 2 floors with like mini bosses at the end of them, and you find all the shops and you upgrade your stuff and you kill stuff. And then you fight a council member, which is like the big boss of that level, and then you go on to the next level, and there's 3 of those, and then there's a final boss, who's like the top wizard or whatever. And I don't know if there's anything past that because I have not gotten past level 2 yet.
Grand Wizard?
The Grand Wizard. I think there was one run where I got to level 3. I got to 3-1, like the first floor of level 3. And I just ended up dying. Because everybody got like the like fodder on each floor. It's the same guys, but they get stronger. Like they get new abilities. Even the mini bosses, like it's the same mini bosses, but they have different attacks and stuff. And it's got like an elemental system, like a Pokemon style, like elemental resistances, which I still haven't quite figured out. Some of them, like some of them make sense, but like there's the ground type guy who's like the hardest guy that I've fought so far, and it would make sense that water would do super effective damage to him, but it doesn't. so I don't know what does.
Only because you grew up playing Pokemon.
Well, like, I don't know. There's not a paper type in the game, so I don't know what's
What would be
supposed to
super
beat it.
effective against rock if you hadn't played Pokemon? Because it sure as hell ain't
Hammer.
grass.
Yeah, a hammer. Metal
Steel.
type.
Yeah, steel.
Yeah. Well, because that's actually another thing that I've noticed in a lot of the spells, and the more you play it, like, it's basically an Avatar: The Last Airbender game. From
Doesn't sound bad.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's a lot of fun.
You just increased my interest in this game
I
20-fold.
Yeah.
Just by
like if
just
you
by
just
saying that.
because all of the guys in the that you're fighting too, like the council members only use one element. All of the fodder that you're fighting only uses one element. I'm sure like the Grand Wizard is going to use everything, but like you are like the Avatar because you can use whatever element you want. And there's even some, like, I just unlocked a spell where I kick a boulder out of the ground, or raise a boulder out of the ground and then kick it, which is just straight out of Avatar.
I mean, that might work ground on ground.
Yeah, I could try that. I don't think I've tried that. I know electricity doesn't work. That's not very effective against him.
That makes sense.
Which is ironic, actually, because if lightning were to strike rocks, would they not, like, shatter and break?
Not according to Pokemon. In the
Not
episode where
according to
Pikachu
Pokemon.
fights Onix.
Yeah. Well, no, you just got to hit the sprinkler.
You have to hit the thing.
And
Just
then you
turn-
get your gym bat out of pity.
Just
Because
throw
you
the rock in
cheated
the
to
water,
win.
it dissolves.
Out of pity.
Tell me one gym badge Ash earned. Thank
That's
you.
a good
All right.
point. Hey, he didn't he, like, at the start of the X and Y anime, didn't he, like, actually start trying? Like, he won
think
some
so.
battles in smart ways.
I think so.
That was
And
when I jumped back in and I was like, oh, there, it's like interesting.
It's Sun and Moon. He
There is a
actually
part
does
of
win
me
the
that-
championship.
Absolutely loves that Ash just always threw out Pikachu. Like,
Well, that's his guy.
Onyx,
Like-
Pikachu.
yeah, like
That's all I got.
He didn't give a damn. He was just like, nah,
Nope.
Pikachu, you got
Giant legendary monster. Pikachu's got this.
this.
He's got Volt Tackle now. He's fine.
Okay, so here's a question for you. Have you played a version of Pokemon where you just over-leveled your Pikachu?
No.
No, but
Really? Because it's
I-
really fun, and I don't want to say it's challenging, but it's harder than over-leveling your Blastoise or your Charizard or your Cyndaquil. You know what I mean? Because
That's
there's
fair.
just so many different types that are
Alright.
resistant or strong against Lightning
Got
type.
New challenge.
New challenge.
Sword.
Pikachu
Pikachu,
only.
run.
you got to get the Gigantamax version
That could.
so that you can have the maximum
Actually,
chonky Pikachu.
I got it. Next week, I'm not going to play Nier. I'm not going to play Resident Evil. I'm going to go back to Fire Red. I'm going to find a shiny Pikachu in the Bug
Good luck.
Forest because I can't remember what it's called.
Viridian
Forest.
Viridian Forest, and only use that except for when I need to use other things to, like, surf or fly.
Fair. Well, you could get a surfing Pikachu.
Pikachu can't
That's
learn
true.
surf.
There is a surfing Pikachu though that can.
There
surf.
was an
In
event
Fire Red?
Pikachu.
You can get it to Fire Red. It was for I think was it a
Yellow.
Pokemon Yellow event? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
There's also a flying Pikachu that has balloons on his back. That was around that time as well. Pikachu can
In
do lots
Fire
of
Red.
things.
I don't
You
know
can
if
get
you
it
can
to
in
Fire Red. It's not
I
in
mean-
Fire Red.
Okay, but I'm emulating, so I would have to...
Oh, right. That's fair.
Oh, then you could definitely get it.
You could just hack that then.
Yeah.
You guys make
make your
really
own.
solid points. I'm just going to have 6 Pikachu.
All different. We got surf.
Just pretend they're all the same.
flying.
Strength, water. No, only one can fight. The rest are just HM slaves.
HM slaves. Yep. Fair. But it's all Pikachu all the way down. I did a run of Pokemon Platinum that I don't know why, for whatever reason, something came over me and I decided I needed to only level up a Gligar.
As you do.
So I played with just a Gligar and I got that guy to level 100. And he was my main man for that entire run. I don't know why I did that. He's probably still kicking around somewhere. But that was the one time I did just used one Pokemon, and it worked. Like, really didn't have that much trouble. When you overlevel something that much, it's fine most of the time.
The only time you might struggle is right at the end when you're facing the final four. But even they're only like level 80, right?
Also,
in Platinum?
Shit, I don't know. I never played Platinum.
Almost none of them.
I'm pretty
get to
sure
80.
like 60.
Yeah,
60
Heart Gold
tends to be the
Heart Gold
you
and
know
Soul
what I'm thinking
Silver.
of? I'm thinking of when you fight Red and Gold and Silver.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Those
what I
are
was
80.
just about to say.
Yeah.
That Heart Gold and Soul Silver has the I think if you don't include the championship battles from Black 2 and White 2, I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver's version of Red has the highest level Pokemon because his Pikachu is 86. But his Pikachu in Black 2, White 2 I think is like 90 or something. I don't remember.
Dang.
I edited a video that had this information in it, which is why I know it.
Also, I just remember something else I've been playing, and this is for you, Shank, because you said you like to play the modded versions of the Pokemon games. Radical Red is a mod of Fire Red.
Sounds awesome.
That is extremely hard. It's actually a challenge.
Okay,
You have to prepare for the fights, and they have perfect IVs and EVs after,
Oh no.
after a certain point. So you
See, I'd
actually
be down
have to
for
prepare.
playing that.
Yep.
What I like is playing the old games with updated graphics and new like challenges and twists. Because
Yeah.
I mean, call me old school, but the most Pokemon I can stomach is 251.
I respect it.
Like,
That's fair.
Everything beyond that, I'm like, yes, I understand they exist for people younger than me, but like, it just doesn't register for me. To me,
I mean, as long as you include Johto, then I'm fine. I like Alola has some solid guys. That's my second favorite generation.
are there
is
still
that
only like
6 or
700
something?
Pokemon, or is that number gone up?
There's 800 now, I think.
Yeah, we're nearing 900.
Yep.
Okay.
Which-
so it's gone
I
up
can't
since the
even
last
find-
time I checked in.
I think there's 12 or 1300 Digimon. I looked this up the other day. There's a lot of Digimon.
898 to be exact.
Oh wow, so we're very close to 900. We're gonna break that soon, I'm sure. But yeah, I also have a friend who plays a lot of the like modded Pokemon games, and he probably recommended me something like Radical Red.
I want a modded Pokemon Yellow that has updated graphics and some challenges. If anybody knows of that existing.
With challenges, I can't help you.
I mean,
but
even a modded
Yeah.
Pokemon Yellow.
Pokemon Let's Go is yellow.
That's true. That is what that is. It's the remake of Yellow, technically. But it's got some weird changes to it.
Yeah.
I consider that more of a spin-off game, even though I think they
that an
consider
official
it a
game, though?
mainline.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
physical.
it's for
It's
the
on
Switch.
the Switch.
I don't have a Switch.
Oh,
Every time I go to get a Switch, it's still sold out.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Ohio
Really?
sucks.
have they not fixed
Ohio?
that yet?
No, they haven't.
Yeah, Ohio sucks. We're like the
Oh.
last place to get anything. We get
What
stuff.
about the
we just,
internet?
We just get like 4.
Did you not consider
You
that?
know,
It's a great thing. It's a great invention.
I have, but I haven't really had a reason to be like, I need a Switch
Well,
right
now
now.
you got one.
Yeah,
Huey's our Switch guy.
that's fair.
I have
yeah,
two.
I mean, I bought my Switch when like a week after Mario Odyssey came out because I was having a bad week. So I went to Walmart at like 3 a.m. and just bought the Mario Odyssey Switch,
I
and that was a
respect
good
it.
experience.
I tried getting it once. My wife gave me permission to just go out and put on a credit card, and she won't second guess. Like, she actually was like, "You need to go get me a Switch." And I was like, "Okay, absolutely,
I'm there.
I'll go." And I was out for like 10 hours, just driving around to GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, just going to every place. Every single one of them was sold out. And ever since then, I've just been like, "Nah, it's probably sold out. Doesn't matter where I go."
They have started to restock them again, so you might be able to find one.
Yeah, but at this point, isn't the next one going to come out pretty soon?
That's what they
The
say,
Pro?
but there's no official announcement.
It's been a
on that.
rumor for like a year.
It'll be like the
and a half
PlayStation
now.
4 when I bought the PS4 Slim, and then like 2 months later they came out with the PS Pro.
It looks like on at least on Amazon, the Switch Lites are all in stock, but the actual Switches are still, at least in terms of sold and shipped by Amazon, harder to get a hold of. But I think you could probably find one if you wanted to get one online. But yeah, I mean, it's not as bad as I don't think Switches are being hit by the chip shortage at all. It would make sense that they would be, but I guess maybe Nintendo has hardware doesn't require it. Yeah, they've got connections. Who knows? But yeah, I've also played this week. I played Spore. Y'all remember Spore, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're stuck in like the 90s.
Apparently.
2D
was
Wizards.
Not the 90s.
What?
Early 2000s.
I'm gonna go play SimCity 3000.
The reason I played Spore was because actually the day before I tried Wizard of Legend out, I had just finished the DLCs for Control, and the second DLC that I played, the Alan Wake one, is, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's very exhausting, just because it's probably the scariest that game gets. And I was mentally taxed after playing that, but I wanted to play more games because I had nothing else to do that day. So I was just like, what can I play that will not demand literally anything of me? And I decided on Spore.
What do you mean? You gotta keep those little guys alive. It demands a lot out of you.
I decided to go full carnivore and just like attach as many spikes to my guys as possible. I gave myself as much money, like I just cheated in a bunch of money so I could just put as many spikes on my guy as I possibly could, and I just ate everything. And it was a good time. I unlocked the frame rate because it's locked at 30, but if you edit like the config file, you can unlock the frame rate. So I was playing Spore at 144 frames per second. It was great.
I don't think it was meant to be played like that, Dylan.
It was not, but it worked, and it looked great. I'm in the second stage right now. I stopped playing because I was screen sharing it for a couple of my buddies, and they left. And I didn't really want to sit and play Spore by myself. Didn't seem like that fun of a time.
That's fair.
So I wanted to quickly touch on the Control DLCs as a whole, just because I played them this week, and I enjoyed them a little bit, but I have some issues with them, mostly just due to the ending, which we'll talk about in a different video. But both of them, I will say, are interesting enough, but I just kind of wish that they were able to get both of them into the middle of the game instead of having one of them be exclusively like after, which it makes sense because the story of it is about, like, it happens post-mortem, post the game ending. So it's fine, but like, I don't know, the 2-1 AWE, the Alan Wake one, I will say, like, you should play that one during the game, like when it gives it to you, because it gives that to you like right before the final mission, so you can just go and like go off and do kind of your own thing for a while, which I feel like does kind of mess with the pacing of the ending. But
I mean, I haven't played it, but I guess that would depend on right when it opens up, what are they telling you in the game, kind of thing.
Yeah, because when it opened, like the reason like it gave it to me, like it just gave me that mission, like go check this out. And I went down, I took the elevator down to the floor that DLC takes place on, and I immediately was like, my gamer sense was tingling. I was like, this is DLC. I shouldn't do this right now. So I didn't. I like looked it up and I was like, okay, yeah, it is. And it was the second DLC, so I was like, man, I really shouldn't do this right now.
Was it the tone, or was it that everything was all of a sudden hitting you harder?
No. It wasn't that, because I don't even think I saw any enemies right when I got there. It was just the, like, it completely flipped. Like the like Alan Wake started talking to me, and it was just references before
so
that.
So it was like a tone shift.
Yeah,
where you're like, okay, this clearly isn't the part of the story I'm supposed to be at.
Right. It was very much like, this is a big section.
especially on open world games. Sometimes it happens, but sometimes you walk left instead of right, and all of a sudden you're getting hit by like level 50 enemies, and you're level 10.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's like in Dark Souls. Situation. If you go to the cemetery in Dark Souls instead of where you're supposed to go, the skeletons will just murder you. And like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here yet.
Not if you get good, Dylan.
Well, yeah, but if you go down there,
you could farm from that.
There's no reason
Actually,
to go down there
lot.
at the beginning of the game. You're just screwed if you walk down to the cemetery.
Gumption.
Learn the game and just ruin the rest of the difficulty.
You're clearly not a Titan. you just challenge it because the challenge is there. You got to go.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week on the PSG podcast. Any last words, fellas?
I promise next week I will tell you something besides Destiny. I promise. You guys can hold me to that.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Same. Go play Pokemon Radical Red. We'll talk about Pokemon next week.
Radical Red.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Dylan. That's Houston. That's Shank. I was trying to point, but it's all gets
Houston.
messed up.
That's Houston. That's Shank.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. See y'all next week.